Welcome back to the Flecks of Gold podcast. This one is coming from me being outside because I was frustrated with my current audio setup, with it having these tiny little gaps that take too much time to edit, and I figured, you know what? I'm just going to do it from my phone today to maintain some insanity, or maintain some sanity. So that's why this one's coming into you on Monday instead of Saturday. So that's my bad. I had this thought today, well, really the last couple days. It's actually the last couple weeks, about the guy who really wanted some help from God, right? He is hanging out in a boat, and the boat starts to sink, and he's like, God is going to help me. Then a guy comes by in a little inner tube thing and rolls over, and he's like, hey man, I can help you. And the guy's like, stop. God's going to help me. Then you got a guy in a helicopter who, lowers the helicopter right to the guy so he can reach it. It's like, hey man, I'm going to help you. And the guy's like, stop. God is going to help me. And then finally, another giant boat comes by. Guy's like, hey man, I can help you out right now. Just jump on my boat. And the guy's like, stops him. He's like, God is going to help me. Thank you, but God's going to help me. So then his small boat drowns. The guy dies. And he looks up to God's face, and God says, what happened? It's like, I sent all these people to help you. Why are you here? And he's like, well, I was waiting for someone to help me. He's like, I sent a helicopter, a cruise ship, and an inner tube to help you. You had all kinds of help. Recently in my life, it does feel like I am in the middle of the ocean. It's easy to make a bigger deal about things than they are, but, here we go. I do feel that way right now, but I also feel like there's plenty of things that God is sending my way to help me out. Perhaps this podcast is a way to help me get to higher ground. Certainly there's scriptures that have long been a strength to me. There's hymns like Dear to the Heart of the Shepherd, Does the Journey Seem Long, and Oh My Father, that all promise things are going to get better and that my needs are infinitely known, and there's going to be better things. Like, you're not going to be stuck in the water forever. Like, this is just a temporary thing, and you can hope for better days to come, and better days are coming. We also need to take the help that's given to you. And I think the struggle right now is to accept the help and also accept it in His way, in His timing. And I don't really know how else to go deeper into that. That's just, it's just, the mercies are coming, but I'm not quite sure what to do with some of them. But I think of 1 Nephi 4:6, how I was led by the Spirit, not knowing what I should do, and about Alma 37:6, about how by small and simple things great things are brought to pass, and also words of Mormon 1:7 and 8, about how for a wise purpose, God has done this for you, and you don't have to know why. Mormons, I do this for a wise purpose. I don't know all things, but God knows all things, and so I'm doing this. And that's really hard. That's so stinking hard sometimes, because we don't really know why. I mean, there's been times this week where it's like, reach out to this person. Why? Please stop. Have somebody else do this, but He knows you're willing. And who knows, maybe you're reaching out to somebody else who's struggling and is in their own boat and needs help from the rescue. I think we just don't know at all a lot of the time where we are in that rescue, how much we really are helping people. I am definitely in this spot right now where I just need all the help I can get, and the Lord's definitely sending it, but it's sometimes I want it my way, and that's never going to happen, unfortunately. It's always going to be done His way, and that is for the best, because maybe if I wanted, for example, bungee cords to be the way I was rescued, perhaps those bungee cords may have been not so well used and they break. Or, if I wanted it to be where I get rescued by somebody riding by on jet skis, maybe that person isn't as proven on jet skis as the Lord would know, and so they go down and I go down with them. But when the Lord sends a mercy, it is true, it is proven, it is tested, and it all comes down to them. But from his perspective, I mean, it's probably good to go. And so we do need to trust his mercies more. I think it's in More Holiness Give Me, it says more pride in his glory, more hope in his word, more tears for his sorrows, and just also says, expecting more, from yourself. Like, the Lord really does give us so much. We do need to remember that he is giving us that help and not closing our mind or our eyes to it. I think it's really easy. With General Conference coming up, I think that's going to be really helpful for a lot of people who have certain lifelines. I think sometimes I'm like, if I can just make it to Sunday, but then with this, it's like, on a bigger scale, it's like I just need to make it to the next General Conference because there's going to be so much guidance and perspective given. But yeah, it's just trusting the Lord is going to help you. And I don't really know why that story's been on my mind, but it has. And it definitely gives me some peace knowing the Spirit can give me little stories and thoughts like that to help me understand a little bit more maybe what God's doing in my life, to help me better understand my place and how I'm doing. But yeah, that's just my quick thought. I'll be back with another little quick fleck on Thursday, but yeah, thank you. Or Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be back with another one. But yeah, just the Lord is definitely working in your life and trying to help you out, and from taking his hand, he will take you to higher places. That's what Does the Journey Seem Long talks about a lot. But yeah, I know it's going to get better, and who knows what the long-term eternal perspective of this podcast is. I don't know. My first podcast, I would say it helped a lot of people, but it also kind of stressed me out, and it's still running, but I don't know. The Lord knows all things, I do not all things. He worketh in me according to do his will, or according to his will, as Mormon would say. With that all said, thank you for listening, and yeah, I'll have links to all the scriptures and stuff I said in the show notes, and it just is a real fleck of gold to me to think that the Lord is always going to send help, that he's sent help. We need to just trust his help. So that's my thought, and thank you for listening. I will see you again with another fleck in another day. Thanks for listening.